What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Unknown Codings channel. Got another video with graphics. This one's a little more intense, actually, and much bigger. Doing these parking lot, I believe they're called bollards, basically a thing that protects things that you don't want vehicles to back into. These are, of course, sandblasted. We're going to be throwing some heavy silver on as our base coat right here. Once again, using the Gemma Optiflex Pro. And this is after cure. You can get a little hint of what the graphics are there in the background. But this is them. This is called a halftone pattern. So if you don't know what halftone pattern is, I guess after this video, or pause this video, go Google it, give it a look. Halftone patterns come in all different designs, obviously. I set this one up to be diamonds, as you can see here. So it starts with this kind of interlaced pattern, then goes into like thinner diamond shapes as it goes near the top. We're masking this off, so as you can see, anything that has yellow on it is going to remain heavy silver, and then we're going to be shooting a base coat over that. The base coat that we ended up going with is Mega Gray. Or I guess it's not a base coat, it's another base coat. So spraying Mega Gray over the top of these. Mega Gray, of course, is just a high metallic, like a dark gray, like a gunmetal type color. So we're going to throw this on here. Gonna be putting these in the oven for, actually I don't remember how long they take, but you do it right till it starts to flow out, right as it's getting like to a satin finish. I've gotten a bunch of questions about what flow out and full cure and half cure and partial cure, all that stuff means. So the next video coming out is going to be kind of a breakdown of some of the terms that I get asked about a lot, and hopefully that'll be useful to some of you like powder coating or people who are powder coating or new to it. Might not be interesting to people who just like to look at powder coated stuff, but you know, I try to make videos for everybody. One thing you want to remember when you're doing a coat over top of graphics like this, it tends to leave some kind of weird marks from where the transfer tape was. So you're going to want to make sure to get a good like solid coat on, because you're not going to be able to recoat those. So when you're doing graphics like this, it's really a matter of timing. A project this big, you're definitely going to want to have 2 people on, or you know, only pull half out at a time if that's an option for you. So I have Jeff in here helping pull these graphics off. As you can see, I'm pulling these off, and I don't know if you can tell like super clearly in the video. You want to pull it right where it's not stringy anymore. The powder's not stringing across your masked surfaces as you pull the, you know, masking tape or vinyl, whatever you're using. I don't have a good way of describing it. It's really a lot of trial and error doing stuff like this. There's not like a set temperature range, it doesn't seem. This stuff was all down well below 180 when we started pulling this, but you don't want to let it get too cold to the point that the powder is starting to kind of harden on you. As you start to remove, or as I start to remove these graphics, you'll start to see the pattern kind of come to shape here, especially on some of the bigger pieces that get removed. But while we're watching this, let me give you that friendly reminder to, if you like powder coating content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications, and give this video a like. Last video got a ton of views and a ton of likes, and I want to keep up with that. So if you don't mind, give this video a like, share it with your powder coating friends, or leave a comment. All those things that help us get these videos higher up in the algorithm. You guys have been absolutely slaying it, and I appreciate it. So as you can see, these are coming together pretty well. Dan popping in here to point out some of the little ones that we missed. There was a little issue when I cut some of this. Some of the vinyl got goofed, so when I went to weed it, it was kind of wonky, and there was a bunch of little pieces I had to pull off individually. But this is the overall pattern. As you can see, this is heavy silver and Mega Gray. Gonna let these things cool down. Actually, that's not true. We put them back in the oven, and then I pulled them back out, and while they're hot, I'm spraying a mixture of 3 different flakes onto them. Admittedly, these were just going in our parking lot, and I didn't have a specific flake in mind, so we just took 3 old flakes that were like a limited amount, and we just mixed them all together to throw on. If somebody really wants to know what the flakes are, let me know. I can definitely post. I know that Rockstar was in there, Rockstar Sparkle, and I think Bass Boat Gold was in there as well. But there was a couple just random ones we threw in, and the reason I'm spraying this hot is so I can stack a lot of the flake on this. I'm gonna, spray these hot, let them cool down, and then I'm gonna spray them again cold. Now there are lots of people who are gonna tell me, "Oh, you can't do that. It's gonna run, blah blah blah," and it could totally run. Luckily, you know, I have enough experience, enough faith in myself that I'm probably not going to mess this up, and I didn't, as you will see. But if you're new to doing this, I don't necessarily recommend you doing this, especially on a customer's part. If it's on your stuff, sure, but you know, I stick with the whole don't learn on customers' parts. So now that these have cooled down, I'm gonna go back over them and spray another coat of that same flake over top of it. Once again, just trying to really build a lot of flake so that when we put the, I don't know what red we put over it, I think soft candy red, over top of it, it ends up, you know, having a lot of depth as a result of the flake. You know, part of that's the heavy silver and mega gray, but then when you start stacking more layers of flake, you got a lot more depth in your candy, and I like that look personally. And some of you who are paying attention might notice there's a big area on each one of these that has no graphics. There actually is a graphic in there. There's an outline of some text that's going to be going on these. I just hadn't, you know, that part's going to be done in vinyl afterwards because we wanted to use a reflective vinyl as well as like a machined finish vinyl, I believe it's called, or engine turned vinyl. But this is it. You can see after got a ton of flake on there. It's kind of hard to see on the gray. You can actually see it way better in the silver in person, but even on the gray you can see just how sparkly all this stuff is. And the next up, we're going to be going to soft candy red. One thing I've been starting to notice, a bunch of my last few videos have all had candy red in them, or I think a number of them have. We actually don't necessarily spray more candy red than other stuff. I don't know why, I'm just picking the projects that are going to be candy red because they're going to look cool. But this is actually one of my favorite candy reds. This is soft candy red. Not sure why I like it. It seems just a little bit more consistent than things like lollipop red, for example. Pretty much the same color. I think it might have like a little bit more depth to it overall, but basically the same overall finish. Another thing I've noticed when doing big stuff like this, where there's a big pattern or a halftone pattern, where it's real consistent, it is very hard to see if you get good coverage. So I, of course, you know, use an LED, check coverage. It's always the best way to go about it. We put those in the oven to flow them out once again. You know, if you don't know what flow out means, it just means where the powder is starting to like gel out and gotten to its like glossy finish, but it's nowhere near full cure. A lot of people call it flashing. Now we're putting silver sparkle over top of this just because honestly you can just never have too many flakes. That, and I wanted to throw a clear over top of this red. So we're throwing some just off the shelf silver sparkle, and this is where it got us. So this is installed, this is out in the sun. I understand that it's very hard to see the depth in this color, especially on a video like this, but they are pretty crazy. And from the time that they got installed in the parking lot, every, you know, few customers been like, oh, is that paint or is that powder? Or how did you guys do that? You know, a lot of questions like that. So if you're looking to draw attention into your shop, you know, having a signage or having bollards or something like this out front is a good way to show people you do custom work. All right, guys, another video in the books. Videos got a little bit behind. I got like a copyright warning or something on one of my videos that didn't even have music in it, so I had to get that resolved. Now that that is fixed, putting this video up, and there'll be a video up each day over the next couple days to get us back on track for the month of June. The video that you're actually seeing right now is going to be in there as well. It's doing a Honda valve cover and a candy purple, as well as some brakes and some other stuff. So hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications, get a heads up when we post new videos, and I'll see you next time.